The story begins in 1958 with Alban W. Phillips, a New Zealand economist who originally just studied wage developments in the United Kingdom. During his research, he discovered a relationship. When unemployment was low, wages rose more quickly, and vice versa. This later became the famous Phillips Curve, an inverse relationship between inflation and unemployment. The logic behind it? When many people are employed, demand increases. Companies raise prices and wages. Inflation rises. That's this point on the curve. But when many people are unemployed, demand falls. Prices and wages stagnate or decline. That's the other point on the curve. In short, according to Phillips, an economy cannot have both low inflation and low unemployment at the same time. In the 1960s, the Phillips curve was the star of every monetary policy discussion. Governments believed they could move along the curve. A bit more inflation for a bit less unemployment? Sounds like a deal. But then reality hit. In the 1970s, we experienced stagflation, high inflation and high unemployment. And the curve? Completely out of sync. Why? Because expectations matter. When people expect prices to rise, they act accordingly, and the curve shifts. On top of that, supply shocks like oil crises or geopolitical tensions can blow the whole theory apart. Today, economists see the Phillips curve in a more nuanced way. In the short run, the relationship can exist, especially when inflation is low and stable. In the long run, however, it plays only a minor role. Central banks like the ECB or the FED use it as a reference point, but not as a steering instrument. Because people's expectations, the credibility of monetary policy, and external shocks are crucial. The modern Phillips curve is therefore no longer rigid. It's dynamic and context-dependent. Why is this important today? Because we're once again in a phase where inflation and unemployment are being discussed at the same time. Central banks must decide: raise interest rates to fight inflation, but risk job losses, or pursue looser monetary policy to support employment, with the risk of rising prices. The Phillips curve reminds us that economic policy is always a balancing act, and that simple models rarely deliver simple solutions. The Phillips curve is not a law of nature. It's a conceptual model. It shows how complex the interaction between prices and employment really is. I hope this video helped explain and illustrate the idea behind the Phillips curve. We'd really appreciate a positive rating and a subscription for more economics videos. Thank you. See you next time, and have a good one.